on? Oh, there. This meeting of the Oak Park City Council is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Norris? Roll.
Mayor McClellan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns. Councilmember Radner. Here. Councilmember Edgar. Here. Councilmember Whitehead.
We do have a quorum, and I just would like to ask for your prayers for healing for Councilmember Carolyn Burns. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda. These are routine items presented without discussion as one item. Any council member can ask to have one considered separately. A, regular city council meeting minutes for September 16th, 2024. B, beautification advisory commission meeting minutes for April 16th and June 18th. C, beautification commission resolution and recommendation for nominees of the 2024 beautification awards. D, payment request from Newman Smith Architectural for architectural services on the Event Hub and Municipal Service Move. Great news that. E, request to approve payment application number 4 for the 2024 landscape maintenance contract to Capital Landscapes of Oak Park, Michigan in the amount of $11,847. F, request authorization to enter an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Ferndale to use their southwest storage yard as a transfer station for leaf pickup. G, Public Safety Activity Summary Report for August 2024. H, approval of pay application number 3 and change order number 2 for the 2024 sewer lining project M763 in the amount of $53,346 and a credit of $11,610 respectively. I, payment application number 4 and change order number 1 for the water service line hydro excavation project M736 in the amount of $34,691.40 and a credit of $46,184.74 respectively. J, approval of pay application number 1 and change order number 1 for the 2024 fence line restoration project. We're all glad to see the new fences. M776 in the amount of $25,270.45 and a credit of $9,229.53 respectively. K, finally, new and renewal of licenses October 7th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We are delighted to recognize an elected official, our school board trustee of longstanding, Dawn Corcoran. Is Dawn here? Can you get Dawn? She was going to update us. On her way.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. We're delighted to have you. Is it on? Is it, press the button. There you go.
Technical difficulties. My name is Dawn Corcoran. I am the trustee on the Oak Park School Board. I bring greetings from our president, Al Alvin, and I was here tonight just to let you all know that We are in competition at this time with Detroit with the signing on bonuses for teachers, but we are working on getting a bonus ourselves to bring in more teachers because at this time, you know, they're competing, you know, with the sign-on bonuses being higher for like Detroit, but here in Oakland County, the sign-on bonuses, we're working on, you know, getting that together in our
Parity.
budget. Yes, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
and
you.
for sharing that with us. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Yeah. That brings us to number 7, proclamation declaring October as Michigan Library Appreciation Month. And we have a proclamation. Beautiful proclamation, which I will read. Whereas the Michigan Library Association, MLA, annually designates the month of October as a statewide observance to celebrate the contributions of Michigan's public school, academic, tribal, cooperative, and special libraries, and whereas Michigan's libraries are essential institutions that serve as cornerstones of knowledge, learning, and community engagement, inspiring us to go further in our educational and personal journeys, and whereas libraries play a vital role in fostering education, lifelong learning, and literacy for people of all ages, backgrounds, and abilities, encouraging everyone to go explore new ideas and opportunities, and whereas libraries provide a welcoming, inclusive environment, encouraging exploration, discovery, and personal growth, inviting us all to go discover the wealth of resources available. And whereas libraries serve as cultural hubs, offering access to a diverse array of resources, including books, digital media, educational programming, technology, motivating us to go engage with our communities and cultures, and whereas libraries play a significant role in promoting intellectual freedom and the right to access information, enabling individuals to make informed decisions and engage in open discourse, empowering us to make a difference. Let me see. Whereas library professionals are dedicated advocates for literacy, education, and civic engagement, working tirelessly to connect patrons with the resources they need to succeed, encouraging us to go reach our full potential. And whereas hundreds of libraries and millions of library supporters across Michigan are celebrating Michigan Library Appreciation Month this October, now therefore be it resolved that I, Marion McClellan, Mayor of the City of Oak Park, on the behalf of the Oak Park City Council, proclaim October 2024 as Michigan Library Appreciation Month. During this time, I encourage you, all the residents, community organizations, public officials, to join in celebrating our libraries. Let's go to the library, explore new worlds, discover the countless ways in which libraries enrich our lives and contribute to the betterment of society. Testimony whereof, I have officially signed my name, causing the seal of the City of Oak Park, Michigan, to be affixed this 7th day of October 2024. Marion McClellan. And if we can, should we present this to the librarian? Yes, if you would come forward and accept our grateful thanks for all you do to make the library a place we all want to gather and a place where excitement happens. If you would post this in the library, and if you would like to say a few words, we'd like to hear them.
Thank you, Mayor McClellan, City Council. We have members of the Library Board here. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Nothing that happens at the library happens without a team effort. We have an amazing staff there that are doing the best they can to offer a variety of services. We have the support of the city administration, city council, our library board, and our friends, the library group. And none of this would happen without that amazing team. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And libraries are under attack. Let's support our public libraries. Event hub update, would that be Crystal? No, Dave. Dave DeCoster.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager Tungate. With me tonight is Matthew Smith. He is a senior designer with Newman Smith Architecture. So tonight we're going to give a quick overview of where we're at with our project. If I can get this to work. Maybe not. Give me 1 second here.
This is the
Okay.
first of many projects
Okay.
that are coming.
Sorry. So real quickly, a brief overview. You've seen this before. We've presented at our SD phase and at our DD phase, but a quick overview of where we're at. We started this campaign in February of 2022 with our Parks and Recreation Master Plan. This is a result of that plan. We had a large amount of public engagement. We had 4 city council meetings, 18 stakeholder and public engagement meetings, as well as statistically valid survey. From that, we hired Newman Smith as our architectural and engineering consultant. We have now gone through our schematic design phase, and we have gone through our design development phase, moving us on to the construction documents phase. So I'm going to hand it over to Matt here, and he's going to kind of go over some items with you.
Thank you, Jim. All right, thank you, Dave. As mentioned, we're currently in the construction documents phase, in which case, this is kind of the third phase of the design process, starting off with schematic design and design development. In general, every single one of these phases, everything becomes a little more technical in nature, and we start to focus in on the details associated with each of these areas from the previous ones. Following this construction document phase, we ultimately kind of establish a package of drawings, which is then, obviously priced out, bid it, negotiations, and then that proceeds on to construction documents. In this particular project, just the nature of certain aspects associated with supply chain restrictions, one of them being electrical equipment, medium voltage electrical equipment has lead times exceeding 15 months. So some aspects of the project we're kind of pushing forward ahead, so that in that case, we're able to have kind of a comprehensive construction time frame with minimum disruptions. In addition, steel package is another example that has a 4 to 5 month lead time.
Which package?
Steel.
Steel.
So those two aspects of the project we're kind of pushing forward, at a more expedite rate than some other aspects of the project where you have a little more time. 4 to 5 months ago, previously when, we presented the update, we had, the concept plans. In general, the basis of the plan, it's still intact. We've been adding details to it. In the case of the landscape plan, now we have native Michigan species determined, surrounding that green space. And those who are not familiar with the project as a whole, ultimately we're at the site that's located directly outside and close to the library. It's composed of a multi-use event space that has a full commercial kitchen adjacent to that, support facilities including a small office space, restroom facilities, storage spaces to accommodate that flexible use event space. On the opposite side of the site, there's also an outdoor band shell that could be used for outdoor performance spaces, and in between there, kind of a flexible lawn space for viewing those performances and so forth, whether it be outdoor movie nights or musical performance, etc. So the stage of the project is really, kind of the site aspect, the band shell aspect, as well as the event hub structure in itself. So looking at the site, as I kind of mentioned, we're kind of getting into the details, trying to really, focus in on some of the aspects, the coordination, the items that you don't necessarily see, at grade, some of the things that are happening underground, and so forth, whether it be, existing utilities, the geothermal field for this building that we're currently in is located on that site, so there are some obstacles that you don't see per se by looking at it from the surface. As far as the plan aspect that was previously presented, as I mentioned, the bulk of it kind of shown in this orange color is, a larger event space capable of handling gatherings of approximately 200 people, whether that be for rented out for, for banquet spaces or, community groups, meetings, etc. The area in orange is a full-service kitchen that's adjacent to that. There is a visual connection when needed between the kitchen and the event space for kind of observing, cooking areas and so forth. The kitchen itself will handle a plethora of different programs ranging from small group teaching facilities to, actual banquet and catering aspects, as well as the possibility to be rented out and generating a little bit of revenue for the city, if a potential startup restaurant and so forth wants to rent out that space for the time being. And then, as I kind of mentioned, some of the support areas that that also support the kitchen, as well as the event space and the outdoor gathering space. Over the period of DD, a lot of variations of these renderings have been shown previously. Really, we're kind of tying into the details. Selections have been made on most of the exterior as well as interior things, so now we know what that masonry actually is, in which case it's going to be a combination of burnish block and split face block on the exterior, a living wall kind of, at this corner of Oak Park Boulevard as you kind of approach it.
Can you explain the living wall? I saw it in another country, but.
So ultimately, what it is the mesh that's mounted external of the building facade, and then we'll have a series of plants that are able to grow up that and fill in that space, just kind of create a visual interest on what would otherwise be a blank wall.
And is that in the winter?
It would be a combination of both evergreen as well as deciduous plantings, so it would be a combination, but yes, it would obviously be more lively in the summer than it would in the winter.
Right. Neat.
Series of kind of developments as far as some lighting aspects, introducing sconces, different layers of lights, etc., with discussions we've had over the past few months to kind of maximize the flexibility of, visibly how the space is viewed depending on the different events that happened throughout that space. And really just kind of maintaining, the original goal of emphasizing flexibility and so forth for the various user groups as both internal and external to the different spaces. And in this case,
The one right before, is that the view from where?
this is the view from the band shell
the
looking
band.
south back towards Oak Park Boulevard. And in this case, you have the larger event space with that floating roof element on top of it, and then on more the utilitarian element towards the left side, introducing future placeholder for a mural or something to add some additional life to what would otherwise be a more utilitarian space, which is where most of the mechanicals and restrooms and some of the more service aspects are allocated on the project there. And then the band shell kind of carrying on the same language that happens on the event hub itself with this floating roof element and this backdrop, and then something that, we have this terracing leading up to it. So when it's not in use for some form of event space, you still have these terrace seating elements, so a spot where you could go and hang out, have lunch, etc., or maybe even a smaller group, teaching thing, an extension of, whatever activities happen, whether it be at the library, City Hall, or some of the schools and so forth in the area as well.
So thank you. So moving forward, obviously you see we brought a lot of those components we talked about months ago into the construction document phase now. We're finalizing those specifications. We're making the final changes to the building, making final selections on finishes and things, creating that final spec book to go out for bids for contractors. The selection of contractors will come after we bid. We'll work with our current construction manager on interviewing those contractors, making sure we make the right selections early on so we get a good group in here to build this project out. Next after that, we're going to develop a construction schedule. We talked a little bit before this meeting about what that entails and some of the obstacles we have to conquer before we get to that point, but we're looking still, the goal is to start construction early 2025. And then the final thing is to secure a final construction manager for the project. We have a pre-construction manager who's working us through this phase, but we need to secure and contract with a construction manager for the building phase. And then obviously keep city council updated throughout the project. So we will be back here probably after we receive bids. You'll obviously know that because we'll be coming to you for approvals. But that's where we're at now with the Event Hub.
City Manager Eric Tungate.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your presentation and all your hard work. The site plan for the Event Hub is going to the Planning Commission in 2 weeks, I believe, or 1 week.
1 week from today, October 14th.
So I was hoping you could just clarify a little bit. So that means, and we know that because of the state law changes, that city council does not see that site plan. It goes to planning commission. That's the final approval on the site plan piece of that. So if anyone is interested, that's the time to come to
Yeah.
that meeting. So
Next Monday, the 14th at 7 PM will be the planning commission for their site plan approval. It is 7, yeah. Yes, 7 o'clock. Yes, in this room.
Thank you so much. It's what?
we don't have
Yeah,
that.
we don't
take that day off.
We don't have that as a holiday here in the city of Oak Park.
Dave does, but we don't. The rest of us work.
Thank you. We love hearing the good news. It's like pinch me, it's coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, Event Hub. Ordinances. We have first reading and a proposed zoning map amendments to the City of Oak Park to change the zoning of the property 21790 Coolidge Highway, parcel ID 522532152001, from O Office District to IF Industrial Flex District. And we have Director Kim Maroney, who is going to explain about this.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. As you already stated, Mayor, this is the first reading for a rezoning of a property from office to industrial flex. It's at the corner of Capitol and Coolidge. Currently, it's an office building that is kind of an H shape, and they would like to take advantage of our industrial flex district that allows for housing on the upper level. With the building being a little bit more unique, they thought it would be more suited to do the north side of the building as the residential and retain the south side of the building as office. They did get the appropriate variances from the Zoning Board of Appeals to allow for that, as well as Planning Commission approval recommending the rezoning. That is why it comes to City Council. That is one of the very few things left that comes to City Council after the Planning Commission is the rezoning and ordinances. So we are asking that you rezone the property at the recommendation of the Planning Commission from office to industrial flex.
Okay, is there a motion? Thank you. Are there questions? Yes.
So it is an existing office building. It is occupied, but there are a lot of vacancies. So it's not 100% occupied. That's part of the reason with the office market declining these days, with everybody working from home, it's hard to rent out office space. He feels that there is, and across the street, actually across the street to the west and then to the north is also multifamily housing. Correct. Yep.
Any further questions? Yeah? Are we ready to vote? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar? Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Radner?
Motion carried, thank you. We are now on to bids. Request to award the bid for the 2024 block pruning project to Limb Walkers Tree and Snow of Avoca, Michigan, for the total amount of $95,000. Is there a motion? Thank you. Director DeCoster is up here to discuss the project and the company.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to announce one of City Manager Tungate's favorite projects here in the
Yes.
city.
I
It is
have
a
to
request to
stop my
award the
heartbeat
bid.
right now, because it is one
It
of
is
my
a
all-time-
request to award the
love
bid
this
for the
project.
2024 block pruning project to Limb Walker's Tree and Snow of Avoca, Michigan, for the total amount of $95,000. At the June 3rd, 2024 regular meeting of the City of Oak Park City Council, the request to bid the 2024 block pruning project was approved. The project was advertised and 36 contractors viewed the documents. On October 22nd, 2024, 4 bids were received and opened. The low bidder, Lim Walker Tree and Snow of Avoca, Michigan, submitted a bid of $50 and $125 per tree. References were checked, and staff also met with Lim Walkers before presenting this award tonight. It is recommended the City Council award the bid for the 2024 block pruning project to Lim Walker's Tree and Snow of Avoca, Michigan, for the total amount of $95,000. Funding is available in the major and local streets funds.
Okay. Okay, we need a motion to award the bid. Second. This is not someone we've used before, so have we talked to people cities that have worked with them?
Yeah, so actually, you're correct. We have not used them before. We did check references, and like I said, we also brought them in to a meeting, an informal meeting at DPW, spoke with them, make sure they knew the project, asked for other references, and our staff is comfortable awarding this project.
And this is for a certain area of Oak Park?
So we do try to focus on areas that we get complaints about. As the City Council know, tree complaints is one of our largest amount of complaints. So we will hit those complaints with this project, but we also try to do what we call traditional block pruning, where we will hit an entire block. Traditional block pruning includes raising the trees up so trucks can by without hitting them. Then we also go further with what we call crown cleaning, where we will the contractor will send a guy up into the tree to cut out all the dead wood. So it's a combination of both traditional and crown cleaning. We also have alternative bid prices for removals and stump grinding.
What does it mean by raising the trees?
That's where you're just gonna drive down, when you're walking on the sidewalk and your top of your head may hit a tree branch, we're gonna elevate that up to say about 8 feet.
So they're cutting off the lower branches? that
Correct,
are
yeah.
Falling down.
Strategically elevating the tree. Same thing when the UPS truck goes by and they hit the tree branches every time. We're gonna go out, we're gonna elevate those trees to 14+ feet so the tree isn't damaged by the trucks going by.
Right. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Radner, Councilmember Edgar.
Motion carried, thank you.
Thank you.
City Manager, Eric Tungate.
Okay, I think I have item
is the
10A.
9-mile
Yep,
connector park.
10A1.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I should say Deputy City Manager or City Manager Van Vleck here tonight, but
Do we want to announce? No? No? Okay.
no.
Yes, of course we do.
Okay.
Well, let me be the one to do that.
Our staff
So
is so phenomenal that everybody wants them.
well,
And here
and so
is-
Crystal this evening was voted to be the new city manager of the city of Berkeley. So congratulations.
Example of the cream rising to the top.
Thank you very much. Tonight I have just a kind of a small matter of business, but as you may all remember, hopefully, in 2020, we applied for and we were awarded a grant for the 9-mile connector park from the Department of Natural Resources. Due to the coronavirus, we were not issued a grant agreement until 2022. With the completion of the landscaping and installation of the signs this year, the connector park project is now officially complete. And we are taking the necessary steps to close that grant out. One of the requirements is something called a declaration and notice, which confirms our obligations as set forth in the project agreement. And it's been reviewed and approved by the city attorney. And so tonight we are recommending approval of that resolution.
Okay, is there a motion to approve? The 9 Mile Connector Park, of course, was chosen as one of the 4 best projects in the state of Michigan. Any chance we get to bring and brag, we do that. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Radner. Councilmember Edgar. Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. City Clerk?
Thank you, Crystal. Mr. City Clerk, Ed Norris, 10B1. Is there an election coming up?
I'm not sure if everyone's aware there's an election coming up on November 5th, right? I just wanted to mention a couple of things about what's going on. We've got absentee voting right now, so I want to make sure everyone is very clear that ballots have gone out to those who requested an absentee ballot. If you're wanting one, you can do that. You have to request it, and that can be done in our office, or you can do it online. So absentee voting is going on right now. And of course, that does mean you can come into the office and actually obtain one as well, okay? So, but what is coming up is actual early voting, in-person voting, which is, we've done that for the last couple of elections, but I just want people to be aware that that's available to them. That starts the 9 days prior to the election in the city of Oak Park. That is in the Oak Park Community Center. It's basically from 8 to 5 starting on the 26th of October. And during that week on the Thursday, which is actually Halloween, the hours are from noon until 8. And of course, you have Election Day where you can visit your polls on Election Day. So there's a lot of ways to vote. Just wanted to let everybody know.
Can I jump in for just a second about the early in-person voting? It's when there is a voting machine and you actually, just like on Election Day, put your ballot in the voting machine. So if you like doing that, but you don't like the crowds on Election Day, there are now 9 days that you can put your ballot in the machine to be counted, if that's an important thing for you. And you don't have to be crowded on Election Day. Thank you.
Okay, in 10C1, Director Kimberly Maroney, if you'd like to join me at the podium, please.
Yes, so we have a facade grant application for 8750 West 9 Mile Road. It is actually our only traditional mixed-use building in the city of Oak Park that's been here for decades. There is new ownership of that building, and they're totally transforming it, and they are asking for a facade grant through the Corridor Improvement Authority. They're estimating that they're going to spend about $13,000 to $14,000 on the entire project, and would like the maximum grant amount of $5,000. Highlights of it is new awnings, painting the business side of it, so the 9 Mile frontage, as well as adding a new sign.
Is there a motion to approve the facade grant for $5,000 for 8750 West 9 Mile Road? Any questions? Discussion? What business is it, by the way?
So they're calling it the Margot Building, so it's residential on the upper level, and then service industry on the lower level. It's relax, release, and unwind, I think it is. Relax. I'm trying to think of the exact name. Relax, release, and restore. Thank you, whoever said that.
What's it called? Say that one more time.
Relax, release, and restore.
And it is a
More of like a spa type business,
spa.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Relax, okay. Especially needed election time. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar. Yes. Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Radner. Yes.
motion carried, thank you.
Madam Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Okay, next we will conduct a public hearing to hear comments and concerns on the following special assessment districts: 716 unpaid utility invoices, 717 unpaid false alarm invoices, 718 unpaid miscellaneous concrete replacement invoices, 719 unpaid property blight invoices, and 720 unpaid sidewalk replacement invoices. I now declare the public hearing open, Is there anyone who wishes to speak about the special assessment? You can come to the podium and give us your name and property address. You can always go out into the lobby if you'd rather not be on camera and talk to someone out there. City Clerk Norris, are there any written objections to read into the record?
There are. Thank you very much. I'll start with delinquent utilities. I'm going to be reading property addresses. This is SAD 716, 8646 Ken Burton, 23,000 Eastwood Street. I don't know where that is. 25115 Coolidge, 22120 Clover Lawn, 13310 Woodvale, 12920 Northfield, 14440 Rosemary, 21800 Kipling, 23461 Sussex, 21620 West Hampton, 14010 Cloverdale, 23081 Rensselaer, 14301 Hart, 15201 Kenton, 23844 Republic, 23210 Scotia, 23511 Norwood, 21620 West Hampton, 23435 Marlow, 22171 Kenosha, 15000 Dartmouth, 12745 Northfield, and 23161 Avon. Also, we have one for SAD 719, which is blight invoices, 23121 Republic. And we have one, one 24090 Maritz, which is SAD 718, which is miscellaneous concrete replacement invoices. So that's the only one, 24090 Maritz. So those are the exceptions that will be removed from the roll temporarily.
Well,
Yep, thank you.
look into that. Anyone else wanted to speak about this? Okay. I now declare the public hearing on special assessment districts closed. I'll entertain a motion to adopt Special Assessment Resolution Number 9, confirming the roles and withholding the noted temporary exceptions, and Special Assessment Resolution Number 10, setting the due date of November 13th, 2024, with penalty for the Special Assessment District 716, 717, 718, 719, and 720. Is there a motion? Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please. Yes.
Councilmember Radner? Yes. Councilmember Edgar?
Motion carried. Thank you. Let me see. Hearing item 11. Aha. Now it is call to the audience. Please, do we have cards? Okay, we have people filled out cards that would like to speak. There's a 3-minute time limit per speaker. Someone, will you keep track?
Yes,
Thank you.
First, I have a card from Hillary Cash.
You take your time. We won't be able to hear you on the record, but take your time. We're got more time than money.
But your clock started.
No.
I'm Hillary Cash, and formerly I was a school librarian in 2 districts. And in one of the districts I was in, we had a peace poll. And with our beautiful things going on and going up, I just feel like we should have a peace poll. And what you do is you can do it in languages, you can do it in a pictures, you can do it any way you want. You can have 6 languages, you could have 4 languages. It's supposed to say, may peace prevail on earth.
Amen.
And we need it badly right now. And it's very special to me because I've always had a peace walk with my children at school, and we sang songs about peace, and we showed visual things about peace, and I just think with all our new things, it would be a really nice, touching thing to have.
Nice.
And I have some, and it's between $350 and $500.
Yeah. Can
And
you
I'll-
turn that in?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll take it.
And International Peace Day is September 21st.
And every day can be Peace Day.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. Is there another speaker?
I do. Silva Haywood. Sil-
Good evening, everyone. To the mayor and the councilman in the audience. You guys know me. My name is Silva Haywood, and I am the president of the Concerned Citizen Block Club, which is Kenosha. I call it KGC, Kenosha Gardner and Church. The last meeting was held on the 24th of September. It was a success. I'm so glad to see some of the members that here tonight. Bravo, bravo. And it was a success, but I was a little taken back with one of the clients was there, and I got quite a few complaints. So that's my purpose of being here, to bring it to the councilman, because I know if you guys don't have the answer, who do, right? But anyway, number one is one of my main concerns, and unfortunately, the lady's not here tonight that had this experience, unfortunately. But anyway, on 9/23, 911 was called to her resident, which was 21650 Gardner. And thank God it was not a major situation that she encountered. When they got there to her resident, they took out their equipments and what have you to do a blood pressure, do a post-ox and stuff of that nature. Well, guess what? None of the equipment worked. I was really, really taken back because it is totally unacceptable.
1 minute left.
None of the equipment was working. So they didn't have a blood pressure cuff. That wasn't working. Nothing was working. And they asked her, did she have one? And her response was, she don't have one. You know, she had just placed an order for one, but it has not arrived as of yet. So, and she asked the gentleman, they said, why would you all go on a run without checking your equipment? And they replied to her, you need to tell the company about that.
What company?
I mean, come on now. This is a senior citizen.
We will
We're paying
certainly,
tax
I
dollars.
guarantee you, we will look into this.
This is totally unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hate that she's not here tonight. But I'm standing here on her behalf,
Thank you. Thank
you know.
We will
So
look into
I
this.
hope so, because this is ridiculous. Because if they did her like that, who's to say how many more people they'll do? I never heard of anybody going on a run with your equipment all jacked up. I never heard of that. It's totally unacceptable. Do I have room for more?
What's that?
I have another complaint. I'm over time.
If you wait until the end and talk to me, I'd be delighted to.
I
do it.
sure will, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Universal? Yep. Anybody else interested? Please, a little prayer tonight for Councilmember Carolyn Burns, who is in poor health. She needs your prayers. Thank you. Councilmember Radner. Councilmember Edgar. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned.